What's up, Mappers? It's your boy Zelmae, and we are back with Zel Theory. What is Zel Theory? Zel Theory is where I break down norms, social cues, politics, all that other stuff. We're back at it, and this time I will be joined with guests later on, but we're about to react to a video. We're about to do a Zel reaction on Zel Theory. It's crazy, but I want to get this point across. I want to get a point across of self-love. These next 2 months, the topic of Zel Theory will be self-love. Once a week, we're going over self-love, and it's about how my people, black people, anybody really, we ain't gonna say black, we're gonna just say anybody, but especially for my black people, because generational curses is a real thing, and generational trauma is a real thing, and we gotta figure out how to heal. And this video by, I know people hate it, CNN, but it's from 10 years ago when it was Anderson Cooper from 10 years ago, in which they did all the boring stuff, and it was less political and more just studies and all kind of stuff. Like, I know y'all remember, if you older than me, you remember the History Channel and all that stuff, and how it used to be just about history, and that's about whatever thing going on. So we have this video right here about these kids, right? I'm gonna spoil the video for you a little bit. It's about how kids view racial bias. We're gonna go react to it real quick because I don't want this video to be 40 minutes long. So let's go. Let's get started.
Second major finding, even black children as a whole have some bias toward whiteness, but far less than white children.
She'll be the smart child. And why is she the smart child?
Because she is white.
Okay. Show me the
That don't hurt you a little bit. This is self-thought. This is self-thought again. This is how you feel about yourself at this age. This young lady right here feels that this girl is smart simply because she's white. Whereas smart has been, in our community, has literally been delegated to Asian and white communities. Because society tells us that, right? There's no way she just learned that. There's no way she just said it just to say it. She learned that from somewhere, right? She learned it from culture. All the people you see on TV, especially during this time period, it's appearance of ignorance. It's appearance of something else. Not hating on it, but I'm just saying that's all you see. You don't see the Michael Eric Dysons spread out. You don't see, let's go to the right wing. You don't see the Ben Carsons actively on TV unless it's something political. You don't see them just being smart or in any field. You see Ben Carson making simple mistakes on politics because he's not, but you don't see him in that surgeon room. You see Michael Eric Dyson talk about certain issues, but you don't see how brilliant he is on other things. So it all feels like it's all political and stuff. So when you see it, you're like, oh, they're getting paid to do that. They're getting paid to say, but you don't see their brilliance in what their setting is. The problem is that.
child. And why is she the dumb child?
Because she plays.
Well, show me the ugly child. And why is she the ugly child?
Because she plays.
Show me the good-looking child. And why is she the good-looking child?
Because she likes skinny.
And show me the skin color you believe most.
That's colorism too. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. A point Tupac tried to get through. But again, that's hard to hear a little kid say that, right? Ain't it hard for you to look at that? And it's not heartbreaking for y'all. That's, by the way, colorism. That, oh my God, you're beautiful because you have this skin tone. Because in every show, shout out to Family Matters, because I didn't understand the importance of what they were doing, but him always choosing Laura even over Maya, even though I was like, Maya is amazingly good. She is, by the way, rest in peace. But her picking Laura was so important, and I didn't even realize it then, because again, beautiful light-skinned women on all the shows, and you see them all, and all your crushes were light-skinned. As I got older, I learned to break that, but again, like, she light-skinned, so she pretty. This beautiful, let's go back. Beautiful little black girl. This says she beautiful because she light skinned. This ain't what somebody else is saying. She said it herself.
She plays.
Show me. And show me the skin color you believe most teachers think looks bad on a girl.
I don't think they think it matters. Because I think each teacher wants to help a student learn either way what they look like. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, it just matters what you look like on the inside.
Show me the good-looking child.
They look the same.
Yeah? Show me the child you would like as a classmate.
All of them.
You like all of them as classmates? Why do you say all of them?
Because I don't really care what color they have.
This 5-year-old girl gave some provocative answers during her test.
That one.
I asked her about them later.
How about you? Why do you want that skin color?
Because it looks lighter than this kind, because this
Let's go.
looks a lot like that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like the way brown looks, because the way brown looks really nasty for some reason, but I don't know what reason.
You don't even know why. It feel nasty, right? It feel nasty.
So you think it looks nasty?
Well, not really, but sometimes.
Sometimes. And Brielle, they asked what color adults don't like. Do you remember what you said? Which one? That's right, that's what you said. Why do you think adults don't like that color?
Dark.
Dark. And adults, you think adults don't like dark?
Well, maybe some adults do, but maybe some of them don't.
Hmm.
The questions that got overwhelming.
Why would she feel that way? Kids aren't dumb.
White biased answers?
Show me the one you think most children would think looks bad on a boy.
More than 70% of the older black children chose the darkest skin tones.
Show me the child who has a skin color most children don't like.
More than 61% of the younger black children chose the 2 darkest shades.
Show me the ugly child.
More than 57% of the younger black kids chose the 2 darkest shades.
It hurt a little bit.
Dr. Spencer says the research shows the bias toward white is still very much part of our culture.
All kids are exposed to these stereotypes, but what's really significant here is that white children are learning or maintaining those stereotypes much more strongly than the African American children.
And that is our third finding, the finding that interested Dr. Spencer the most, that overall younger and older children keep the same patterns stereotyping. In other words,
We'll talk about that later on when I get the group.
From age 5 to 10.
How y'all feeling? I just want to know how y'all feeling. I just want to. They don't disturb you a little bit. Don't hurt your heart. It don't make you feel. No, it don't make you think a little bit. It don't make you. I'm about to bring the boys in. We're about to get the boys in, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about this real quick. We're gonna break down everything, cause we know that's what happened in Buffalo. We know what's going on in North Georgia. Well, y'all might not know what North Georgia, but apparently some kids be saying they got a whooping. That what we used to do to you, and they doing all kind of racist stuff, and that little Confederate flag, calling them the N-word, all kind of crazy stuff. It's in the school. I forgot what place it is. Y'all can look it up. Racists be getting a lawsuit, all kind of crazy stuff. And we gotta talk about healing, right? How do you heal? How do you break that curse, right? I want y'all to go in the comments and just let's have a conversation. I'm gonna bring in my guys. We're gonna talk. You're gonna hear stories. You're gonna hear all kind of stuff. I'm probably gonna tell more of my story next week, or it's just me, and I might not have a video up. So we can take this down real quick. Or I might not have a video up, but we need to have this conversation, right? This is a conversation that need to be had instead of ignoring it, instead of playing around it, instead of playing, because this is not a video really about race. This is not Zel Theory about race. This is a Zel Theory on self-love. But we have to talk about race in it, right? Why? Because if you black and you don't like being black, or if everybody telling you being black is bad, or having that feeling, You got to do something about it. So we about to do that. We about to do this video. I appreciate y'all for listening, by the way. We're about to bring in the boys. All right. See y'all on the other side where we discuss this stuff. Alpha stuff. We just saw that video.
I can't believe we just saw that.
Leave it to Anderson Cooper to bring you with the real thought piece.
Yeah.
Time machine status.
Yeah. I know people just watched it with us. I didn't want to do a like and subscribe and anything. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. They have super thanks, all this stuff, all that things. Comment below your thoughts on the video. How do you see it? How do you feel about how kids view themselves? How kids view themselves when they say who is the smart kid, and they all just pick the lightest version. It just constantly the lighter version, because again, it's hard.
But see, when they went, what was the skin that everybody wanted to have? They picked the light skin, not quite the white, that nice little manila in between. Shout out those light skin folks.
Yeah, but yeah, you see like a correlation between intelligence and all these different aspects of different thought processes. The pretty one,
just perspective in general.
Yeah, this is the pretty kid. This is the smart kid.
Kid.
Yeah, and the bad kid is the dark skin, and bad is black is bad, and white is pure, and all these like synonyms and analogies that has been used through history, not just in America. We don't want to just blame America, but throughout every part of the country, every part of the world, from telling people society in general.
It's the whole world, man.
Yes. And it's like
east to west. Yes. There's some form of discrimination.
Yeah, it's cultural. It's like I said,
religious.
Smart. You think about smart, who the pretty one is. Intelligence. You see in the hood, oh, you talking white because you sound intelligent. Oh, you not one of us, or some of those things that go on where you have to deal with people not claiming you, and all these different things, because again, who you identify with, who your culture is, and all those different things. I'm pretty sure Torres went through a little bit of that being mixed. I'm pretty sure Joe's been through that being black. You be in a white area and everybody look at you funny, like, what are you doing here? It's our culture, it's our thing. And I want to do a Zel Theory simply on this. I'm gonna do one every week. I don't know if they'll be with me or not, but I'm gonna do one every week. And it's about self-love. That is what this thing about. I said it in the beginning of the video. I'm gonna say it again. It's about self-love. This is the self-love month or 2 months of this show. And I just want to show things on how society makes us feel. Not how you feel about yourself, but how society kind of makes you feel. And I want to know y'all thoughts. Uniqo.
So just checking.
Yes, good.
So when you get the opportunity, quote unquote opportunity, I don't want to make somebody else's life experience feel like it's less than mine or mine is less than theirs. But I do know that, you know, me being in being able to do the honors classes, me being able to travel, me being able to do all the brushing elbows with different types of people, you know, there are times when, you know, I used to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes I do now. Like sometimes I still, like my gym, for instance, you know, we all in there for one thing, you know, to try and make the best of ourselves. But I be feeling self-conscious that I'm the only black dude in there, you know, I feel self-conscious. And that's something that I do feel like I need to work on. But it's all of this is from a culmination of being raised in the 90s. Like it was rebellious. I can understand how white people would get met with hate from black people, because even black people could be racist. We get it. I kind of think that comes from a rebellion standpoint. But I know that I always go the extra mile when I do stuff, especially when I'm in a predominantly white arena. I'm the one that's going to turn Ultra Instinct. If anybody's going in that whole, out of all the universes, and then predominantly they're this, I'm going to be the Ultra Instinct one. So society just has had an impact, because I walk into my honors class and I'm one of three black guys in there.
I was the only one in my readers class.
And which is
why I
wild.
wasn't in those classes.
which is wild because you live in a something like a predominantly something like black state, but not like quite. Y'all just be together.
Oh, I live the Delta in Mississippi. The Delta is the mostly predominantly black, or the city over is the predominantly black area, which is Bay Springs. Bay Springs is like 99% black. So
So
That
with that
sounds
being
like
said,
99% Black City, Bay Springs.
for you to be the only person,
it's about 65, 40, 35 in Raleigh, about black.
so for you to be the only black kid in the honors class, I know that had to be a different situation for you. I'll tell you a quick story. 3rd grade, I was going to the gifted and talented classes, and it was like, yeah, you can't go to this school no more. You gotta go to a whole nother school. And all your little friends that you got around here, yeah, that's a wrap. You're not going to school with them no more. So with all that being said, most of the times I've been in quote unquote affluent places. Oh man, there's some beautiful homes in Noblesville I've been to, beautiful homes in Fishers. But I haven't been to many very black owned places. And I actually ended up having a girlfriend that had a couple extra dollars, they family. And I kind of felt out of place. I was like, man, this would feel more comfortable with white people, I think. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, just when you come from somewhere and now it's different, because now you're the black guy that goes into the classroom when they're used to it being all white people. So now it's kind of awkward for everybody else. And it's awkward for you because you used to being in black class with your homies. And the cultures don't collide enough in a sense for us to really make sense of each other. But I think that's changing now. But we still got people shooting black people in grocery markets and stuff. So
Well, I talked about at the beginning of this video. The school in Georgia is getting sued because they wear Confederate flags, wave whips around, talking about this is what we used to do to y'all, all that stuff in North Georgia. All that stuff is still happening, folks. It's not out of here. And then we hear the news media before we get to tour. We hear the news media make up every excuse, like, "Oh, was he mentally ill? Probably, but it's racism. Was it social media's fault?" That's like some of the left wing people do. Like, is social media creating hate, creating racism? I'm like, racism was along way before social media started. Was it video games? Well, I don't know how you learn it. So we learning racism from video games and stuff that wasn't around when racism was rampant.
everybody gets shot on Grand Theft Auto 5. Everybody
Doesn't matter what color you are.
Was it gun violence and all kind of difference? It's just everything but what he said in the video, what he said on his tape. I don't like black people. We got it's not a deep dive. He's very straightforward. You don't have to dive deeper. He said it.
Sometimes when it walks like a duck and talks like a duck.
Did he get radicalized in a Facebook group? Well, he probably sought out the Facebook group. Let's not pretend like I'm pretty sure that every random person just don't join Facebook groups and hey, you know what? I really don't like black people today.
See, they only recommend stuff that I've been liking and stuff. So like they recommend anime, Goku's Deepest Thoughts, stuff like that. Yeah,
Elden Ring groups.
I'm in Elden Ring groups and I don't even play it. But I'm like in them because I'm intrigued about y'all.
If you watch this video and you're white, I asked this at the beginning. Have you ever been in a social media group and you just saw something racist and you just clicked it? Maybe they're right. I do want to be racist today. No, you don't. It's like you're not that type of person. If you watching this long in this video, you're probably not that person. Maybe you are. Maybe you just want to argue in the comment and say some crazy wild thing. Speaking of crazy wild things, but it's gonna be tame today. It's amazing. Tori, thoughtful today. Let's go. Tori, give us thoughtful thoughts.
Well, I look at it and I have an interesting perspective, like you said, being mixed. I oftentimes as a child, and this will sound super cliche, but like when I'd hang out with my black friends, it's like I would be the positive influence kid. Like the parents would be like, "Oh, well, make sure you guys aren't getting into any trouble." But when I was with my white friends, it was like I was the negative influence. Like freaking, "Oh, you got to watch out. He's gonna have you do something." So it's very crazy to me how people don't see it because it was so blatantly shown to me as a child. Like,
yeah, that's wild, man. I never even thought of it that way. Like,
well, yeah,
negative influence to black people and then positive influence to black kids and then negative influences when you hang around white kids. That's That's heavy right there. That's heavy. I didn't even think of that.
And that was literally the experience that I had for most of my different, because like it'd be the whole thing. Well, oh, they'd come to pick me up. Well, you got to come to Elgin to come and pick me up. And you know how white people are once they come driving into Elgin, they come in that front way, and you get to looking around the apartment complex, and it's not the most beautiful place in the world, but it was home for a good long time. But like I said, and even as I grew older, it's like you'd be surprised the amount of like I've literally seen people's whole demeanor change by them finding out that I was mixed, which is the craziest feeling in the world. To watch somebody relax because they find out that you're half white, it's sick. But I've seen it happen so many times that it's just like, but if it takes something, if that's what puts you at ease, what does that say about the world? If it's like, oh man, I'm glad he's not fully black. And it's just crazy. And those kids sort of they depicted how we come across these thought processes. Because if you look at it now, the kids in that video now, those are the kids that are about to graduate from high school. You know what I mean? Those kids were probably 8, 9 years old, some a little younger in that video. It's been 10, 11 years. These kids are about to be adults. This is the perspective that the new world of adults that are coming into being, this was the perspective that they grew up with. So it's just.
I love it. Where are they now? That would be awesome.
Yeah, but especially that girl at the end, because she had the best answer. She's probably like about to, man, never mind. She probably with a brother though, so shout out to her. But it's just crazy that people don't see it, because for me it's been something like anyone who tries to see they don't see racism, it's just that you're oblivious, or because you don't have to look for it to see it. I've never have. In all of my 30 years of living, I've never had to look for it. It's always just been there to be seen super easily.
Bruh, Zelmae, I know you about to go in. I just want to just share this moment real quick, guys.
I probably did at the beginning of the video, so.
So I'm at this place called Indiana Beach in good old Lake, whatever it's called.
Santa Claus, Indiana.
It's not.
It's right before Santa Claus in Holiday World.
It's something like that.
Indiana Beach is just before Holiday World, I think. But
so it's a spot that's like
one of the most racist towns in them.
Or Six Flags. But your band teacher decides like, hey, we need to do this every year while you through middle school. So we just gonna go here as the trip. Cool, no problem. There's this Venom action figure that this vendor had out there, and I finally had the money to get it. And I went up there. That's neither here nor there. It actually has nothing to do with the story other than Venom being black and white, but mostly black. And dog, this little kid. Now, mind you, I'm in middle school, so I think it was 8th grade.
Well, you were at least 13, maybe 14.
At least that. And mind you, I'm in band, and I'm part of a band where, you know, at the beginning of class we was playing.
Joe had a polo and some skinny jeans on.
Oh, not yet. We weren't there yet. Jay-Z was making us all wear button-ups.
Okay.
Because he was turning 35. And
not tucking them in.
And so this kid, like, I'm so excited. I finally bought this Venom action figure I've been wanting. It stayed there for 3 years. Nobody bought it, and I finally got it. And this is from the Fox cartoon Spider-Man one. That Eddie Brock.
So he was slightly blue and not really all black.
No,
it was blue.
Capcom. But I said all that to say this like little white kid that had been no more than between 3 and 6. No, that's a bad thing, because I don't think he was.
I was gonna say that's a wide one.
4 and 7, something like that. And he turns around.
Okay.
And he says
post toddler.
He says hard R. And all I was doing was like, man, oh my God, I finally got it. And he said hard R. So
what did the parents say? Did the parent be like, don't say that in public? I've seen somebody actually say that. Don't say that in public. What? In public?
I told his dad, I said, hey, did you hear that? Did you hear what he just said? He just kept holding his hand.
We don't talk like that in public. in public.
And the
You
crazy
talking
part
about
was
behind.
it was one of those sweet family moments. Like mom had one hand.
Oh yeah, he
Dad
got an extra ice cream after dinner for that.
and they didn't say anything. I was like, "Did you hear that?" And like I told my band teacher, he's like, "Wow, I can't believe that happened here at Indiana Beach." But yes, so with that being said, I was just piggybacking on the fact that yes, you 100% do not have to seek out racism. They will let you know that they don't like your ass. Like even subtle stuff like holding the door open for them. No, you go ahead. I'd rather you go instead of you holding the door for me.
No, Mississippi.
See, I get lucky. I just like I said, my skin's light enough
they just
to
don't say
disarm
thank
them.
you.
They let me hold the door.
They thank the white dude
They're
when
nice
they
enough
want
to let
thank
me
you.
hold the door for them.
Like it's because I think Mississippi got a little different than Indiana. I think they like, oh, you supposed to do this.
They both classic racist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like in Mississippi, they're like, you supposed to do this for me, boy. I'm like, what? I'll slam it down in your face.
Hey, there's a reason why I took down so many white girls in my day.
All right, Kendrick Lamar.
Let's go. Y'all know I didn't have N95 and Silent Hill on repeat.
Yeah. But again, we want to talk about this because we want to bring awareness that these things happen and that it affects your youth. It affects children. It affects how you perceive. Yeah. If you start believing something at 5 and 3 years old, it's gonna go into your belief system as you get older.
I know.
As far subconsciously, it'll be there.
You might learn how to do a social norm and not be quite. As Joe said, the kid was probably what 4 to 7.
4 to 7.
If he's 30 now, he might not do it out loud anymore. But he might still have that same feeling. Unless they
learn a little bit of nuance as they get older.
Yeah, like this might give me like me at 4 and nobody gonna say nothing, but me at 20, they might fire me from a job if Twitter happens.
Might get packed out.
As Laura Ingraham said, it happened because freedom of speech was gone. I'm like, so he can't just say what he wrote on the gun and on Twitter now, so he just decided to have a riot. Okay, I don't understand y'all logic. But
in the alphabet community, I know I was like, yo, this is 100% wrong because my Southern ass grandparents said it is, and so did the church. And then like here I am today, like I'm an ally. I'm fighting for you. I'm doing all that. My best friends is in the alphabet community, and you can't change. You don't have to be racist. You can grow out of it because I certainly did grow out of being.
Yeah, I know a few people who have grown out of racism. Because, like I said,
only reason I said that kid might learn that is because his parents didn't correct him when he did it. Like it takes some type of correction to you.
He says it every day over a beer during the 5 o'clock news. He hears his dad say that.
That's what I'm saying.
Again.
Yeah, if he's no correction in it. Like if you hear your friend say it and your parents like, don't say that. That is rude. We do not refer to that. Okay, that kid is more likely to change. Even though some of them can change on their own. But it's a lot harder when your parents like vehemently like that. But especially if you from like a mostly white area. Now, it's some in my high school that probably parents still like that, but then they been around black people. So then they're like, okay, y'all not bad as they say. And I'm like, what does that mean? And by the way, if you friends with the really cool white people, I'm just let you know that they will tell you that all the racist things that they racist friend that are really comfortable saying in front of them. They're like, oh, what's the name called you? He said, you so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And I'm like, what? They never said it to me. Of course they don't say it to you. They say it to me because I'm white. Because they think I'm racist too. And I'm like, don't say that about my friend. I'm like, did you
That's the one thing. I've had my homeboys throw down over somebody getting at me for being black before. I got lucky with cool white homeboys. Shout out to them.
We got to correct people. And and just like you said, and if you're an ally of black people, just like I said, I'm an ally of the LGBTQ community and all that. You got to correct people when they say, man, they be, no, hold on. I don't know nothing they do. I don't know who such and such does. And if they do, why does that make them worse? And that's the same thing where it's like, I'm black. Man, you know how black folk is. No, I don't. I know black people that don't like watermelon. Just don't use that joke. I know black people that just ain't all about. I know vegan black people What you talking about? Don't tell me all of me fried chicken.
I don't eat hot sauce.
Oh, they're opening up a new KFC. We better stay away from there. Why? We don't like KFC like that.
Yeah, this when it. Yeah, this is going into like describing it, but this is like real world experiences. But how do you find? This has been about the kids. And how do you find self-love though? How do you love the skin you in? How do you get that two-part level of the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice? I love me some me. And society teaches you this, by the way. I want to go over a story too, because I done got a lot of stuff off before all this something, but I want to tell y'all this because y'all here. We live in a society where people want you to be like other people, and it's like keep teaching that. Even though we praise individualism, I got called difficult in the 2nd grade because they asked me who do I want to be like when I grow up, and I'm like, I want to be like me, who I'm meant to be. And they were like, you're being difficult. Who do you want to be like? I'm like, I don't want to be like these other people I don't know. Like, this is why like, I don't know who these people are. I don't really know them. He's like, you're being difficult. You want to be like Bill Gates? I'm like, no. Why would I want to be Bill Gates?
Hindsight, yeah, kind of.
Of course it's worth. I don't want to be like Bill Gates, dude. I want to be Zelmae. I want to be Trevor. I want to be the dude who creates Zel Reacts out. His money is cool, but do I want to be him? No, I like being me.
I take the bank account any day of the week.
Me is cool. Being me is cool. If I can be me and get what he had, that's cool too. I'm not. If I have to be him,
that's the only thing I've ever been good at being.
What I'm saying, it don't make sense. Like, so how you gonna ask me who do I want to be when I grow up, and then list just a bunch of rich people I ain't never met? At least say, hey, you want to be like your brother, your cousin, your daddy? Like, you asking me, do I want to be a celebrity? I don't know these people, and most kids in the class would just go with it because that's how everybody like thought. So of course, when you see the most powerful people in the world all be white, and all the kids you see at Harvard are either Asian or white. No offense to the community. I know y'all hate that little stereotype too, because I know if you ain't that, and then people are like, oh, you supposed to be this. I know, hey, but when you see that at Harvard and all of them graduate look like that, and you see all these elite people in this offices being rich and wealthy, being like that, and we got Kanye and Jay-Z, the only people in that realm, even though they at the lower end of that billionaire realm. And Oprah, you got 3. And then I was like, oh, I want to be like those rich people, because again, society teaches. That's not even a race thing. It's just society telling you that, because all you think about is all the smart people I see on TV is white.
I wanted to be the Undertaker when I grew up.
You want to be a dead man? But yeah, it's like,
exactly.
What y'all thought about that? How y'all think about how society teaches you basically that your way to success is being that person, and the way to be it possibly be it's easy if you're white, basically, is what society teaching us. I know a lot of people in the comments disagree on that, but I explained it at the beginning of the video again.
It's a struggle for sure. I think, and you brought up Kanye and Jay-Z, and it's not even so much.
They wasn't there when we were young, though. That was the crazy one.
That was like middle school, high school years.
But it wasn't Kanye for me. It's Kanye's mom for me. I mean, you hear how she gushes at all the things that he does. It starts with us. We have to start uplifting each other more and more. Because I sit here and look on Twitter, man. I just sat and watched the Popeye Civil War. Like, they worked together. It was all black people, and they was throwing hands, and they all worked together. Shout out to the little random mouse there. But we don't lift each other. We don't lift each other up enough. But just going back to Kanye's mom, that's what she did. Anything he said he did, even if it sucked, she learned the lyrics to it, or if it was a bad painting, she was like, "That's good. Keep going, keep going."
Yeah, but I don't know if she's the best example because of the way she went. She went because she was trying to fit in with this look of the Hollywoods and freaking.
I'm not worried about that part. I'm talking about the part that made her son. Now we know that some him losing his mom made him turn out a different way.
That was a big part of Kanye's. But I can't help but when I think of her, I can't help but think about somebody who didn't feel comfortable in their skin, and she felt that she had to change, and because
she may have
all these people now, and that ended up being
whatever it was, she kept it from Kanye.
Well, no, because I just say that because
during his developmental years when he was trying to be like, I'm Kanye, I'm K-Rock. Now you go off on your own. You grown now. You grown
Yeah,
now, go off on your
but you
own.
got to think she
So
became more involved as he was grown, though, because she was his manager, she was his representative, which goes back to what I was saying, where she felt the need when she was going to be in all these high-level places, all these places with these record executives and this and
I'm
that.
talking about the kids. I'm talking about the
Well,
kids.
yeah, I know, but I was just talking about that feeling of not feeling comfortable in your skin, how far it can take you even as you get older.
She may have never gotten to that point inside, but she sure, for damn sure, made sure that her child respected himself, and that's the point I'm making with her. But I'll go ahead and pass the mic.
Or how can we
Oh,
create this environment of self-love, self-healing,
it's
breaking generational curses?
well, that's the thing. You have to be willing to break them, and that's the thing. It's gonna come down, as much as we want it to be a community thing. When it comes down to it, the community can help, but it's gonna come down to the individual to feel comfortable enough for them to realize that at the end of the day, you don't have to fit in with everybody else. You don't have to follow this trend or that trend. You don't have to go out of your way to make people feel comfortable. That's not your job. If we're going to be completely honest, anyone's only job is to make sure that you're comfortable with yourself, which is the last thing that we do, unfortunately, in this day and age. So I just I hope everyone actually takes away from the message of self-love that it really means self is the key word here, even above the love. Self is the key, because if you go around being completely worried about everyone else, and it's just going to be such a sad existence. And we see it happen to rich people, we see it happen to poor people, we see it to happen to people who are famous, we see it to the people we don't see who it happens to, but we know it happens. It's just, if we can work as a community to try and foster that kind of growth, but at the same time, there's a difference between fostering growth and then pushing people. And that's a fine line. You don't want to, because then you're just pushing them into, so no one can make you love yourself. It's on you. But
nice to have a little nudge in the right direction.
It's nice to have a little positive reinforcement. Never hurt anybody.
And I'm gonna end on this. I'm gonna end Zel fashion. To you who is looking for that job and feels like you need to talk in code and change your voice in code change. To you who has been made fun of at school because you're dark or any other situation like that, from colorism to racism. To you who is uncomfortable with yourself. To you who don't know who you are. To you who have many questions and have different feelings and maybe been picked on or certain things bother you. Sometimes you just need to hear this. I know I can't change your thought process. I know like Taurus, I can't heal you, but you are loved, you are appreciated, you are beautiful in your own way. You are beautiful in general, because humans are beautiful. It doesn't matter what subjective thought that society or anyone else puts on you. You are amazing. You don't have to be somebody else. You don't have to be Bill Gates. You don't have to be me. We are not your savior. You don't have to act like someone else. You don't have to wear the nicest clothes. Wealth doesn't define you. You being you and true to you and loving what you love and doing what you do and going through this life is enough. And you will struggle. You will go through things. People will talk about you. Things are going to go happen. You're going to see traumatic things. You have curses. You're going, I don't know your situation, but you are beautiful in your own way. And I'm going to let Joe and then Tora say their last bits, and we're going to get out of here. Joe, any message to the people?
If you don't feel the love, make sure that somebody younger than you does. That's where I'm at. And then maybe in turn, you seeing them flourish might help you. But more than anything, that's all I got. Spread love, and you'll get love.
Or
we'll keep it real simple. Energy flows where attention goes, people.
Real simple. And I'm gonna leave y'all off on a statement. I'm not doing Socrates. I'm not doing Plato Day. Let's do Tupac. Let's do Tupac. Can we do Tupac? I might not change the world.
Dividing the black community again. Here you go. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I might not change the world. Right. But I might inspire the person who can. So remember, be the change you want. And we out. This is Zel Theory. I appreciate y'all.
As a Biggie fan, I'm upset. No, I'm just playing. That's a good.
Let's go.
That was a good quote. That was a good quote.
Yeah. So even if you can't change the world, you might. If you do your hardest, you might inspire the person who can. So I appreciate y'all. Peace.